Just a minute.
Hello. Hello, friends. My name is Girishkumar Patel, and I'm a registered migration agent working here at Aussizz Group, Clayton. Uh, as you know that every Friday we're doing the live session where you can ask any question related to the migration, and we're here to help you related to your queries or questions. Um, we try to accommodate all the questions or query within the time frame. If you're not able to solve your queries, we'll try to answer those query through the Facebook, and we'll try to comment on this questions that you put into the Facebook, and we try to give the answers into the Facebook itself. So, hello everyone. Today we have a question from Pulkit Saini. My brother got the Queensland 190 pre-invite in mechanical engineer offshore 80 points on the 10th May. He'll be submitting all documents soon by 17th May as requested. When he expect the final nomination and then can get the visa granted. Pulkit, as you know that the visa granted cannot be under our circumstances. So let's say, hopefully if you submit all the relevant documents as the Queensland's checklist, then definitely you can you can provide those documents, and then on the base of the documents you can get the invitations within 7 working days to 4 weeks. And once you receive the full invitation from Department of Home Affairs and the nomination approval from state government, then you can launch a visa application within the 60 days. And after 60 days, once you launch the visa applications, that it may take 3 months minimum to maximum 18 to 24 months, because it's an offshore application. We still not guarantee about the offshore applications, how long does it take to get through it. uh, just quick one. Mm, um, we have a question from Sai. What are the chances for engineering technology with 75 points for NSW? Sai, with 75 points, if you have scores 80 in each band LTS or PT, and if you are 75 points, then yes, because they are prioritizing applicants with the 80 in each band, then higher points, then the experience, then the NATI and all these things. So if you have higher points with the in engineering technologies, then you may have really good chances to get invited under the 119 NSW state sponsorship. We have a question from Joe. I heard that points based system for 189, 190, 490 is going to be changed in the future based on the review and thoughts. What criteria will be? See, we're not sure yet the new criteria, what going to be the new criteria over there. But in December, they're going to change the new. They're going to change the point system itself. So it's going to be the new point system from December 2023 this year, or maybe from next year, early next year, January for next year. So hopefully we'll get the good news from department, and they may invite on the base of the experience, on the skills, on the qualifications you have. So they maybe have something kind of new criteria coming up after December. Hopefully we get the good news from department, and they try to serve it their benefit to their people in Australia who are coming here to get permanent residence visa. Dimple Patel, what are the chances for ICT project manager or ICT business analysis with 75 points for 491 W general stream schedule 2? For ICT business analysis 75, 491, we haven't received any invitation so far, recent time, but after July, once they get the new quota from department, then you may have good chance to get invited. One more thing, Dimple, if you live there and if you try to work in any field, even though if you live there and if you show that you are living in WA and then you lodge your UI, then you may have really good chances. However, this financial year, I don't say that you may get invited, but next year, July, definitely once they get the new quota, then you may have good chances. However, we're not sure yet whether they will change the new criteria or not, but hopefully, we get good news, and they continue with their current, current requirements and current situations, and then we'll get the good, you'll get the invitation under the ICT business analyst. How about the care worker Dharma visa 190? Hardeep Singh said, how about care worker Dharma visa 190? Now, Dharma is not a 190. Dharma is for the employer sponsor visa. So, for example, if you have an aged care located in designated area where the aged care has got the labor agreement, then yeah, if you can work over there, and then they have the permanent residence pathway for PR in future. So it will be a really good opportunity, like say, if you're working in aged care and if you're looking for a permanent residence visa through the aged care, and if you do not have any other study or if you do not have any other options to get permanent residence visa, then if you move to regional area, and then if you find an employer who can help you to give the Dharma, an agreement, and then if you work there with 3 years, then you may get the permanent residence visa through that particular Dharma program. Recently, government has also announced that any aged care in Australia who have labor agreement, they can sponsor under the subclass 482 visa for 4 years, and then under the aged care, once you work 3 years or 2 years or 3 years, like as per the new rules, if you work 2 years with the with the same company under the aged care, then you would have good options to get permanent residence visa through the aged care. But make sure that aged care got a labor agreement with that particular particular occupations through the government itself in order to apply for the permanent residence visa. We have too many questions. I'll try to sort it out for you. Just give me a second. Tick saying applied 106 direct entry general account in July 2022. When can you get visa card? Pratik, that is a really good question. Recently, we have received 2 invitation where they apply an application in May, first week of May, and they are actually assessing the application, those who have lodged an application in May or June. So hopefully within 1 or 2 months you'll get an update from department about your applications of nomination and visa both. So hopefully within the next 30 to 60 days you'll get an update from Department of Home Affairs. Manas Kumar saying initial lecture 80 points, 190, 90 points for 491. If you have 80 points by yourself, you have 80 points by with including state sponsor in Victoria. Manas, if you are single and if you have 8 in each band, then you have good chance to get invited. If you are single and if you have 7 in each band, then initial lecture very hard to get through it under 190 in Victoria. You can wait for to get invitation for 189 with 75 points through the initial lecture after July. Hopefully you'll get through it in July, because July they'll reopen again with the 189. So you have good chance to get invited under 189 initial lecture in 189 through the federal government. But for 190, if you're looking for 190 Victoria, then I would say you should try for 8 in each band and clear the NATI. If you not clear the NATI, then you would get good chances to be invited. Chances for 190, 189 Queensland is a motor mechanic. Ajay, I would say for 189, very good chances. Wait till July. You still have good opportunities to get invited, because as per the new quota, the recently government announced that definitely they'll invite under the 189 subclass. And 190 motor mechanic Queensland, I would say a bit doubt about it, unless they get quota, then they can invite you under the 190 in motor mechanic. Jigar say that 190 Victoria Wilder 75 points or 70 points 189 sorry 75 for 190 or 70 points or 189. 189 you still have really good chances, Jigar Patel, but the Wilder 75 190 Victoria not inviting. Victoria only inviting the chef occupation in trade and motor mechanic. Recently we invited for 491, but they are preferring the chef for the 190 stage sponsorship. Apart from that one, we not seen any other occupations being received the invitation of the surplus 190 for trade occupation only. So for 190 Wilder, South Australia is one of the best state to get invitations. If you move to South Australia, then you have really good chance to get invited under 190 if you're looking for 190. But 189 after July, you may have really good chances. Pratik Sen say that student visa holder, why can't government continue with the unlimited working hours? Pratik, I'm not the right guy to make the comment on that one. That is up to the government and their policies, and whether they want to continue to full time or not. But as you know that the government has stopped to giving the work right after 1st of July. So till 1st of July, you can do as much as work you want. But after that, 30th of June, you cannot work full time if you are a student visa holder. But yes, again, if you have the official vacation or if you have the holidays going on during your academic time, then you can work full time. Corporate private tutor 70 points 491 Victoria. Any chances? Corporate, the private tutor, I need to double check because the private tutor falls under the regional occupation list only. So that means you must live and work in regional only. So if you are living and working in any skill level 1, 2, 3 field, then you may have good chances in the surplus 491. But if you have lodged applications through ROI, and if you're not living in regional area and not working any skill level 1 or 2 or 3, then you have very good not very good chances. I mean, you have very less chances to get invited. Those who are looking to get a 491 invitation through the Victoria State, I would suggest to all of them that Victoria has announced that you can still lodge your EOI and ROI if you are living in Melbourne as well. But make sure that if you are living in Melbourne, you would have less chance to get invitations. You get more chances to get invitation if you live and work in skill level 1 or 2 or 3 in Victoria Regional, because they're giving more priorities to those who are living and working in those areas. Sai, you putting the notes again. Engineering technologies 85 points 491 NSW. See, if you are living in NSW and if your occupation falls under the category, the pathway 1 category, then definitely you can try for pathway 2, EOI 1, pathway A, pathway 1 stream B, skill receive. If you are living in NSW, you can try for stream B. Hopefully you can get invited, but you have to spend $800 to get to lodge an application for RDA. So RDA will charge you some money, $800, and hopefully you can get invited. If you are living over there, then you should try for pathway 1 stream B. Okay, we're getting a lot of questions so far. Joel, I'm studying Master of Laboratory Medicines, aiming to submit UF for medical laboratory scientist. Wow, Joel, you're doing the fantastic job, my friend. Laboratory medicine is one of my favorite occupations and one of the favorite subjects, and in terms of getting invitations of PR in this country, even though if you move to Victoria, you'll get invited with 65, so you don't have to worry about your future, my friend. So if you complete your Master of Laboratory Medicine, you'll definitely get PR, because it's got a very high chances to get PR in Australia, especially in NSW and Victoria, even though for 189 as well through the medical laboratory scientist. So you're going on right pathway. So very good chances, even though with 65 points. However, keep trying for higher points. So keep trying for 8 in H and here the Nati. You'll get more, you'll get more chances to get invited through the NSW or Victoria or through the 189. But still, we have received invitation 60 under the 65, like with 65 in Victoria itself during the pandemic time as well. So it's one of the best occupations, I would say, to get PR. Corporate again, private tutor 70.491 Victoria, May 2023, working in skill level 1 as chef. Now, the chef does not come in skill level 1 core, it comes under the skill level 2. But if you are working in chef occupation and if your occupation is private tutor, then definitely you'll have good chance to get invited. So just wait till couple of more round to be happen. If not, but you definitely get invited in July, after July itself. Uh, we getting more comment. I can't see the more comment. Just let me have a look. Jigar Sony, engineering technical 75 points, Victoria working skill level 2. 75. If you have 75 points, Jigar, and if you have claimed 10 points from your spouse as a skilled spouse, then you have very good chance to get invited with 75, including state. But if you are single and if you have 75 points, if you do not have 18 each band, if you're not having a NATI clear, if you're not clear the NATI, if you don't have more than 85, 90 points, then you won't get invited. I'm sorry to say that. Victoria prioritizing those occupation who has got a skilled partner, number one. Number two, they're prioritizing all the health occupation and teachers and all these things. Number three, they are prioritizing those who have offshore experience in their field more than 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. If they are more than 3 years of experience in offshore, they will get the prioritize those occupations. And number four, those who have higher income in their occupations, then they'll get prioritized in their occupations. So Victoria only prioritize those applicants who's got a skilled partner, and if you are working in health occupations or you have a occupation in health occupations, so you have a good chance to get invited. Pratik saying, can student visa holder continue to stay online? Ensure, or is there any mandate to take face-to-face courses? Pratik, and we have recently got a news from the a lot of colleges and universities that they're going to do the face-to-face classes. I think 30 or 40% face-to-face classes, or maybe depends on the university college. Some colleges may do the 20-30% face-to-face classes. I'm not sure. It's there up to their guidelines. So they're going to start from July 1st of July 2023 this year. Even though they want to make a bit strict in terms of changing the courses as well in future. So the government pushing hard to make sure that those who come in Australia, they continue the study that they come here to do study. So they're also pushing very hard to colleges and industry not to change the colleges till 6 months. So there are going to be a lot of restriction coming up soon, but not that much. But hopefully, it'll help students to continue their studies and get little bit stress into their continuing study. Prabjit, monitoring working hours for those under student visa after June. Yes. Will they strictly monitoring? Yes, Prabjit. They're going to monitoring very strictly in terms of those who are working full time. In case if you continue to work full time, a lot of students what they does is they work on Uber and they work on ABN, and they meanwhile they also work on TFN. From the 1st of July, they're going to be very strict in terms of those who are going to not meet the requirement, they breach their condition of the student visa. The government may be very strict on those one, and they may cancel your student visa. So guys, please after 1st of July, continue to not work full time. Do not work full time on their your student visa, and I would suggest just focus on your permanent residence visa and just focus to get settled down this country. Okay, we have one question. Kamal Nath, Carpenter with 65 points in Victoria 190, very less chance. I would say no, Kamal. You don't have good chance to get invited into 190 and 65 with the Carpenter. But if you have 65 for your own, let's say you got 65 your own without including state, then you may have good chance to get invited under subclass 189 after 1st of July. So just try to get 65 by your own to get a permanent residence in this country. If you're looking for 190, then NSW or the South Australia is the best for Carpenter or the welder. Uh, Sorry, I can't see more comment over there. Okay, go. Sai, you asking one more question. EA is asking me to submit CDR based on my work experience, but my work experience not related to civil. So if you apply an application as a civil engineer for the CDR based one, then obviously your experience has to be related to the civil. Otherwise, your project should, if its project should not be related to your civil engineering, then you can't consider it. So means the EA will not consider it. Sheikh is saying if the Sheikh Fahad Ahmed is saying if the skill assessment is expired at the time of invitation, what should happen? In what will be expired? So I'm not able to understand the question. So you say that you already got the invitation and your skill assessment was expired, or you got the pre-invite, then your skill assessment expired. So let's say if your skill assessment got expired, got 60 days. If you get the assessment in 60 days, then you can still apply for the visa applications and you have good chances to get invited. I have Prabjit Sokhal saying, I have question regarding the parents' PR. I'm not sure, but there isn't recent news about the lottery visa. No, there's no such a kind of lottery visa in parents' visa. In parents' visa, there are 8 categories so far. You can apply either the contributive parents' visa, you can apply even the normal parents' visa. So you need to double check. There are 8 categories of the parents' visa. Which categories your parents falls under? You need to check with the registered migration agent, or you can talk to one of our Aussizz Group, the nearest office. We have questions here. Janice Shah, how many times pool of invitation open for 190, 491 in Australia? I don't think so. There are going to be any round happen soon. We have to wait till next round to be happen in July. So most of state have stopped to giving the invitations. So yeah, hopefully we'll get more round and more quota after July, and hopefully they continue with the same requirement as they have at the moment, because a lot of students has got a benefit to get invited for the as for the current requirement, the criteria to the state sponsorship, and it was really nice one so far. So hopefully they continue with the same criteria and they get the more quota to give invitation to their clients. I mean to their people who are living in the particular states. Yes, at the time of pre-invite for 190, 490, if the assessment expired, then can we submit in 60 days? If you receive the skill assessment in 60 days, then obviously, yes, you can lodge an applications. There's a low, no, I would say that the government recently announced that if your skill assessment got expired and if you have received the skill assessment in 60 days, you can still apply for the permanent residence visa application within the 60 days in case if you have received the skill assessment in that 60 days time. Still, I would suggest say just consult one of the registered migration agent regarding your permanent residence categories. Yes, in saying I worked 3 years under 403 now on 402 labor agreement. When can I apply for 160 direct entry? Yes, in as recently the government has announced that if you are, they're not going to talk about the occupation categories. Even though if your occupation falls into the short-term occupation list, if you are being granted 482 visa, from the date of the 482, if you work 2 years in that particular occupation and with the same nominated company, so that means if you've been sponsored under, for example, a chef, and if you the company who sponsored you, if you work with the same company with the same occupation, you will be eligible to apply for under 160 TRT stream, not the direct entry. So let's say if you work with the 2 years with the same company in the same occupation, you will be eligible to apply for 160 TRT stream, temporary residence transition stream. So you'll have good options to apply for the permanent residence visa through that particular category. Okay. Okay. Any other questions I can? Mm, okay, the questions I can't get more questions here, guys. Sorry, just give me a second. Does the job ready program expired? Yes, it's the validity of job ready program is for 3 years. So in case if you have a job ready program, then it's expired from the date of the letter has been issued. So that makes sure that you double check with that one. Okay, we have one more question from Hardik Purani. For mechanical engineer technician, how much score is required for PT? For mechanical engineer technician, Hardik, it depends which category you apply. Either you're applying for 190 or the 491, number one. Number two, which state you are applying, depends on the state, or which state you are making applications. And number three, whether you applying from the offshore or onshore. So there are a lot of things are tested with the application. So please specify your questions. But if you are applying, for example, applying for 491 NSW, and if the occupation is falls under that category list, then you can definitely can apply an application through pathway 2. So you can apply pathway 2, and you just require 6 bands in each module. Most of states are asking for the 6 bands in each module in LTS. In case, for example, if they have specified particular occupation with the particular scores, then you require to have the particular score in that particular categories. We have one more question from Venkateswara. My employer has lost 42 medium stream 2021. On April 2023, medical is completed for my son. Additional medical were requested, completed for 4 weeks. I haven't received an update from department. What can I expect to visa grant? Oh, okay. Venkateswara, usually the 482 grant within 1 to 3 months, but you have lost in 2021 and still not received the application in 2023. So I would suggest just to give us a call on 131 131 to Department of Home Affairs, or just put in a feedback to the feedback through online. Then they will able to give the answer, but depends. You need to double check the applications, because I have no idea about your application. Usually it takes 1 to 3 months, but sometimes it depends, whether the nomination will not be approved, or they may be checking your experience. So sometimes it takes time in those kind of documents and verification. But I would suggest just double check with the migration agent that you have lodged applications, or you can give the call to Department of Home Affairs, or you can put a complaints through the feedback Department of Home Affairs. Okay, Kala is saying that, can you talk about a little bit more about aged care workers and vocational education teacher no trades? We talk about the aged care for vocational education teacher. Means I'm not sure what you're trying to explain about the vocational education teacher. But when you talk about the aged care occupations, the aged care occupation require minimum certificate 3 or 1 year of experience in your field in order to get a sponsorship through the employer sponsor visa. Now, for the aged care, recently the government has announced that you can apply through the labor agreement. So that means labor agreement. This means if your company has got a labor agreement with the federal government, Department of Home Affairs, then you are eligible to apply for the subclass 482 visa through employer sponsor category. And under the 482 visa, once you've been granted, you will be granted for 4 years, and you have to work with the same nominated occupations, which is aged care or aged care worker. And once you work 3 years with the same company with the same occupations for 2 years, once you work the same company with the 2 years with the same company and same occupation, you will be eligible to apply for the employer sponsor visa under the 160 RT stream. Okay, we have a question. Hello, sir. Any chances for 85 points engineering technology Victoria 190, as I have lost the point for my age? Vishal, if you have 85 points and if you're having a job in skill level 1 or 2, and if you're earning 90 plus K, then this year, this financially, you may have really good chances to get invited. But because of their, very less quota, they are preferring to give the invitation to only healthcare occupations. But after July, you have really good chance to get invited under engineering technology. So just be patient and wait to get more invitation to be happen. Maya is saying that which state has better job prospect for chemical engineer or process engineering? Well, I'm not the right guy to give that answer, but as you know that the more minings are located in the Western Australia. So if you're looking to get an, a chemical engineer or petroleum engineering jobs, then obviously W is one of the best state to get jobs in terms of job prospect. You may can get a job in NSW as well, but W is one of the state where you can have good amount of jobs in those particular occupations. Prince Pahal saying, would Victoria and NSW keep the same requirement for the next financial year? Prince, yes, I would say, cannot make a comment on that one, but as we're hoping that they will continue with the same requirement because the Victoria has got a good quota this year so far. So hoping to, because this year they have very successful migration program, and the same apply in NSW. They had a very successful migration program that's both this year's as well. So hoping that they'll continue with the same requirement as they had this financial year. Hopefully they'll continue with the same one, but let's hope for the best for the July. Let's see what happens. Ankit Prajapati, for class 482, 75 points, eligible for management consultant. I think your question is wrong. You don't need a point test to apply for a class 482 visa. For management consultant, if you're working as a management consultant, then you just need a 2 years of experience and you need an employer who can help you sponsor in your normal occupation. Make sure your 2 years of experience in management consultant has to be in last 5 years from the date you make the applications. Okay, we have questions from Garima Consult. Would 408 COVID visa will be continuing? Tough questions to answer, but I don't know yet. Hopefully they'll continue with the 408 COVID visa to be continuing. Maybe we'll get a good news in July whether they'll continue or not, but yeah, after July we'll get a good news or not. As per my knowledge, they should continue because there are a lot of a lot of clients, a lot of my clients who's got stuck in COVID time, and they have finished their 485 visa and they went into the student visa and they could not able to use appropriately the 485 visa. So I would suggest, I don't know about that one, but maybe they'll continue it. Hopefully they should continue it, and we'll get more news or more update about COVID visa in July. Ibrahim Khalil saying, how about chef in NSW regional is 65? Yeah, you have really good opportunities if you are living in NSW for more than 3 months, and if you already have pathway 1. As you know that pathway 1 has got stream A and B. Stream A say that you must be earning $53,900 for at least for 1 year. For stream B, that means if you are living in there for 3 months, you can still apply. If your occupation falls under that pathway 1 category, then you can apply for the stream B, but you need to make a payment of $800 to RDA. And then once you make a payment, then they'll select you whether you are eligible or not. So let's say if the state select you, the RDA select you, then you can get invitations. But if the RDA will not select you, then you can lose the $800. But it's worth to try because we have tried a lot of application and we got 100% successful. But make sure your occupation should fall under the pathway 1 category. Okay, we say the Saurabh Makar saying W491 computer network 75 points including state. I would say that 75 points, if you have 2 categories so far, it's a graduate stream. If you have studied over there for 3 years, then you would have almost very good chance to get invited. But if you're not studied over there and if you are leaving over there, then 491 again a very good chances. For if you're not living there, if you're living in any of the states, then again maybe after July you have very good chance. But till July I would not say anything, and I think they're not going to do any more invitation round this year. So hopefully we'll get new updates soon. Okay, we have okay, Mohammed Sabir saying, bro, bottom line, can I transfer student visa to a student visa? Mine. Okay, Mohammed, you can apply the student visa from the tourist visa, make sure you should not have the no further stay condition. If you have the 8503 condition, then you are not eligible to apply for the student visa. You're not eligible to apply for any other temporary visa except the permanent visa on tourist visa. So make sure you should not have the no further stay condition. That's number one. Number two, you should have the offer letter and COA from the particular college, and you need to meet the other student visa requirement. Then yes, you are eligible to apply for student visa if you have no further stay, if you do not have that condition. We have a comment. Janna saying, what are the chances for marketing coordinator to get PR in Victoria? Janna, I don't think so this year you'll get invited. But yeah, next year you have very good chances to get invited next year. After July, we have, the department will have more occupations and more quota. So yeah, next year you definitely have good chance. I mean, next year in the terms of next financial year, you have a really good chance to get invited under the marketing specialist. But this financial year, I would say almost none, because they are prioritizing to health or occupations only. So let's say if you are enrolled nurse, you'll get invited within a week. But if you are not enrolled nurse, then you won't get invited. You have very less chance to get invited, very, very less chance. Well, I think your question is, they want to skill recognized process will be modified. Now, they don't want to modify the skill recognized process. They want to modify the subclasses they have so far. So in terms that they're not happy with the too many subclasses that the government is offering to get a permanent visa in this country. So they want to modify the system in terms of the, like in terms of to giving the PRs and plus one service and everything. So hopefully we'll get the a better categories to be eligible to apply for the PR and everything, but they don't want to scrap the process at all now. The skill assessment remain the same as what we have, but there may be changes in the subclasses. Vinay Patel, which is a good for skill assessment, developer, programmer, software engineer, software and application developer? Very good question, Vinay. But if you're applying for NSW, then software and application developer is one of the best occupations. If you're applying for Victoria, then developer programmer is one of the best occupation, and the software engineer. The occupation need to be select depends on which category you're applying. If you're applying for 189, then obviously software and development doesn't make any difference. 189. Obviously, software and application developer doesn't fall under long-term occupation, but developer programmer and software engineer does falls. But again, if you're applying for 190 Victoria, then developer programmer and software engineer. But for NSW, software and application development, that is what I believe. Punit, accountant and external auditor with 85 for 190, any chances? Punit, you need to specify your questions because we're not sure. You referring the state, which state you're referring. If you are referring the Victoria state, then you do not have a very good chance in this invitation round, but definitely after July, you may have very good chance to get invited. One more thing, if you have a skill partner, let's say if you have 10 points from your skill partner, then you have a very good chance to get invited, even this invitation round or maybe next invitation round. But if you are single and if you're claiming 85 including state as being single, then you need to make sure that in accounting or external auditor, you should be working in skill level 1 or 2 job. Then only you have good chance to get invited, and you must be earning at least 90K plus super. Otherwise, they'll not pick your applications. Okay, we having more question. Let me check. Sorry, we don't do the offshore applications for from Pakistan. Sorry about that one. We only do the onshore applications. So the applicants who are in onshore, who are looking to get a better universities or who looking to extend their student visa, we are applying application for them, and we're helping to get an admission to those who come to Australia and changing their mind to change in different college, in different courses. Then we help them to get courses which they like to get an admission. Kirandeep Kaur, on average, how long the department is taking for 190 visa grant? Department in see, it depends which occupation applying. Let's say if you're making applications, for example, on the 189 applications, sorry, if you which occupation you're applying. If you're applying an enrolled nurse, for example, in 190, then you'll get a visa within a 1 month. But if you're applying, for example, engineering technologies, then it may take some time, up to 3 months to 7 or 8 months. Vinay, how much do you charge for skill assessment? Yeah, Mr. Guju, as me, I'm also Guju. No, obviously the money always matters for each and every students, and that is a very good things. We charge, if you are applying on the base of the experience, we charge 550 to 1,100, depends how many years of experience we have. If you're applying on the base of the professional year, then we'll charge 275 for the skill assessment through the PY. We have one more question from Mahesh. How the employer offered to wait for employee to get his visa for it. It takes time ranging from 3 to 6 months. See, the current processing time for the employer sponsor visa is 3 months, 1 month to 3 months. So I need to double check, like let's say depends on which category you're applying. If you're applying for the 42 categories for the short term categories, then, and if you are offshore, then sometime it takes 3 to 6 months. In long term as well, the 3 to 6 months. But if you are in onshore, then it may take at least 1 to 3 months. Even though if your nomination has been approved and if you have the SPS approval, then sometime it takes within a 1 month as well. We have applied a lot of application from offshore, and their nomination were approved. So it took maximum 1.5 months to grant the visa, because the department, they're taking the time to get the pieces to be cleared. But a lot of applicants from offshore who's got a PCC been approved, they're taking the only maximum 3 weeks they've been granting their visa. Okay. Gil Inderjit Singh say, what are the chances of 190 for civil engineer with job level 3 having 85 points, including state? Gil, as I said earlier, if you are single, a very good, not very good chance to get invited. If you are a skilled partner, very good chance to get invited. 80 points is not a good score. You should try for higher points, and wait till July to be receive the invitation. But with 80 points, very less chance this invitation round. Okay, let's say mechanical engineer, we have already given the answer. Garima, we have given the answer for them as well. Sheikh Fahad Ahmed, can we apply contract of project and project administrator skill assessment on ABN? Depends. We have made an application. So let's say, for example, with the ABN in the transport company manager. In transport company manager, we have applied an application where the applicant was working by himself, and he was running the transport company. But in project administrator, it's a bit hard to justify that on what basis you are, been employed with the other company. So if you can prove with the documents that you've been working as a contractual basis with that company, you need to provide the contract letters that on what basis you've been working with that particular occupation. Then if you can provide those documents, then you can try to make an applications. But again, it's very bit hard. Karthik Kumar, we have mechanical engineer with 80 points. With 80 points by yourself, 189. Hope for the best till from the new year to become, and we received the new invitation round happen for the 189. So hopefully we'll get invited for 189. And for 190, 190 Victoria, 80 points by yourself. If you're not having the 18 each man, if you are single, then very less chance. Again, if you are married and if you have skilled partner, bingo, you'll definitely have good chances to get invited. Say, as I said, again, you need to prove yourself that you've been working on through the contractual basis with the company in order to get a to be prove yourself that you are working under the APN. We have questions here. Nice, we give the answer. Hello, Adil say hello. I want to check if there is no questions here. Nice, we give the round for 491 interview before July. I don't think so. They're going to be happen any invitation now. They usually update on their websites for more information whether they're going to have any invitation round to be happen or not. What if I end up getting a Queensland and Victoria 19 invitation on the same time? Can I lodge the visa for both? Yes, you can lodge a visa for both because department does not stop you. I mean, they don't stop you to lodge an application with the same subclass. So if you're eligible for both categories and both state, yeah, you can lodge an application in both state. You can make a visa application. It depends on you whether you like to spend money on visa application or not. Okay, let's have a look. Say thanks, really appreciate. No worries. You can have more questions. We have the ask Aussizz live session every Friday. So you can join and ask Aussizz any questions related to your permanent residence visa or or any migration related questions to us. And our base concern will try to solve your queries. And if they're not, you can leave the comment and we'll try to solve through the we'll try to get back to you through the same answer in your comment box. Vinay say, can I lodge 482 and 190 at the same time? Victoria, yes, my friend, you can lodge both applications. So you can lodge in a 482 visa as well, 190 visa. But make sure that in case if your 190 has been granted, you should immediately withdraw the 482 visa because if in case if your 190 has been granted and then if they make a decision of 482, your 190, will be seized automatically. So make sure that in case if your 190 has been granted, you should withdraw the 482 if it is under process. If it is not, then yeah, that's fine. Danula say that do we need to lodge ROI in South Australia after UI? I'm onshore and trying to working out regional stream, working in outer regional assistant. Danula, South Australia outer region is one of the best categories ever seen in my whole life. You can work in any field for 6 months and you're eligible to apply for the South Australia state sponsorship. South Australia does not have the ROS system. You just need to apply for the state sponsorship straight away. They used to have the ROS system where you can apply in case if you're eligible before you meeting the criteria of the state. Let's say if you're not meeting the criteria of the state, you used to have the ROS system, but they have no longer that ROS system. So you need to apply for the state sponsorship, but make sure you are eligible to apply for the applications. So you don't need to apply for ROS. Hi, Karthik say hi. I just said the 80 points for 190. I don't have any share, but I write 90 and will be 85. Now you make sure in case if you if you're looking to get an invitation through the Victoria 190 as single, you must require 18 each pen, or else you should have at least more than 90,000 plus superannuation package in skill level 1 or 2. Sanjana, I do have 189 lodged and I also 190 lodged and paid for them for 4,400 each. Do I need to withdraw one of our applications? Sanjana, you don't need to withdraw any of the applications because both are the permanent residence category. So I would suggest if you already paid the amounts, just continue as it is. No need to withdraw it. And even though if any visa is being granted, that's fine. Both are permanent residence visa. In case your 189 has been granted, you can withdraw the 190. The department will give you a call or they will send an email to you that whether you want to withdraw the 190 or not because your 189 has been granted. And if you say yes, you want to withdraw it, they'll send you the withdrawal later and you have to withdraw it and you have to upload to the IMI account. In case if you don't want to withdraw it, you can say that I want to continue the 190. They also will grant the 190. But you will not have two visas at the same time. So if your 190 is being granted, then another visa will be seized. If your 189 is being granted, the other visa will be seized. Maninder Chauhan, what are my chances to get invited for 70 points for 189, 75 or 190 as a motor mechanic? For 189, 70 points, I would suggest wait till July for the 189 round to be happen. So you may have really good chances. In case if they continue as it is, what they have invited the last round in 8 December 2022 last year. For 190 Victoria, no chance at all. For 190 WA, you can try it because I'm not sure if you are living in W or not, but yeah, I can try in 190 Victoria. In WA. Let me check the other one. Okay. Like say, what is the base rate for 191 accounting occupation? Recently, we have received one impression in taxes and accountant. I think we have received the impression tax and accountant with 75 points in WA. So WA and Victoria Regional are the best state to get impression under taxes and accountant. So you can apply for the new applications in taxes and accountant. You may can get invited in the 491 in WA. The client was living in Victoria Regional. So you can move to Victoria Regional. You can apply for the 491 as well as you're eligible to apply for the WA applications. Karthik Kumar, 85 points for 190 occupation mechanical. As we already discussed, Karthik, I guess if you are single with the 85 with the state, then again, if you do not have 18 each pen, then very less chances, my friend. Try for 18 each pen in Altis of 80, and plus try to get a good job. Let's say good job in terms of the salary wise. If you have good salary amount, which is more than 90K plus super in skill level 1 or 2, you have really good chance to get invited. The information I'm providing about the Victoria State is based on the data that we receive and the data we receive internally in our organizations. We receive a lot of information from Victoria, and on the base of the data we make a solution, we make a judgment that whether that person will get invited or not. So it's solely based on the data that we receive from the department of Victoria. Uh, we have more questions coming up. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining Aussizz Group live sessions. Hope you have cleared your doubts and questions. We have one more last question. Any chances for software technician? Is Victoria has 70 points? 491, you can try it if you have received the skill assessment in that occupations, and if you have the 490, if you have 70 points, you can try for 491. For 190, again, they are asking for the higher points. Right? So you can try for 491 in Victoria if you're living in Victoria Regional. Guys, thank you very much for joining this session today. Hope you have cleared your questions and queries. In case if you like to get more information, please come. You can ask more questions in next upcoming Friday sessions on Friday. And if you have any question or query, you can book an appointment at our nearest Aussizz Group offices, and you can try to solve your queries through there. Hope you have a really great weekend and have a nice day. Thank you.